So this is a three-part series on Diwali, actually about celebrating any kind of Indian festival away from India. So if you're living abroad, this is your jam. If you're trying to incorporate a little bit of that Indianness, some Hindu spirituality, festivals and fun into your lives and just liven it up in the festive season, then this is the spot, because I am just breaking it down step by step how you can make it happen with very little resources and manpower. We already got through with our videos about the decor and the food. Now we're on to that last bit, but the most challenging bit, which is not so much in your hands and which is your social life. It's about actually celebrating Diwali with people. How are you going to celebrate with people if you don't even know that many people and if they're not interested in Diwali? So then what are you going to do? Couple of things. Now, first of all, please make sure that you take the opportunity of the festival days to call all your relatives and old friends and neighbors and everybody, and even old colleagues, anybody and everybody you can think of. Do a video call. Just see their faces light up, okay? That is Diwali. Seeing the faces of people you love and care about light up, that is Diwali. So don't forget that crucial step of actually connecting with people you are emotionally connected with. That is actually gonna lift up the spirit of Diwali and make it happen. So once you're done that with that, and that you can do a day before, because Diwali starts already kind of a day before in India, before the logically the day comes along in other parts of the world. It's already happened, unless you're living in Japan or something. Then you are the first people to celebrate Diwali. But other than that, mostly if you're staying in UK, in any part of Europe or any part of Middle East or in North America, then of course Diwali is going to come a little later in your life, so you can finish this in advance, just wishing everybody Diwali. Now that is one part, but what if you're all by yourself? What are you going to do with all that decorations and all that food if there's nobody to share it with? Now, if you are working somewhere, you will be having some colleagues and you can throw a certain little bit of a party. You know, people you know from the gym, or anybody that you know you've connected with during your time, anybody will be happy to be a part of it. If somebody's not happy to be a part of it, if somebody has some kind of religious embargo that they cannot be a part of Diwali, at least in their minds, well, you can still give it a shot. It's okay if they say no. You will know their position very well, but that's no reason to just assume that people are going to reject you and then live miserably on that assumption. Because if you try 10 people, I'm sure 5 people are going to show up. So try to build some relationships before Diwali so that you have people around too. Like, just work on your social skills. Don't be all work, work, work. Give time to people, meet up with people and create bonds. That is going to go a long way in the festive season, not only for you, but for that other person too. And so I would say you can throw a small party of people that you know from anywhere. It doesn't matter. You all can, you can play some games around, a quiz about India, or do some random things. So usually if there are like 5 people from 5 different places who don't know each other, you need a little bit of an icebreaker. So keep a few games and stuff in your mind. Another great way for people to pass time during Diwali or such cultural festivals, when you have people from other communities and they don't exactly know what to do, you can have food laid out in a way that they can DIY. So let's say you can have a chart station where people and lay out an instruction, print out an instruction, so people can kind of collect stuff, and that's a great way that to pass the time and also to give them a very great hands-on experience. Even kids love it. Even kids love doing things by themselves. Similarly, you can have a sweet station where you can kind of garnish your sweets with nuts and stuff like that, or you can have a payasam or a kheer or something like that. Again, people can add things to it as they like it. Same for ice cream or whatever you have. So try and make it, have some DIY station or a charcuterie board or something like that, where people get to pick and choose and do things, and kind of it becomes a conversation starter. People are going to turn around and ask, okay, what is this? Should I add this? How much of this should I add? Once I did jhalmuri station. Jhalmuri station is like murmura, puffed rice, and then you add all your chaat ingredients to it. and people had a great time. They especially people who've not experienced Indian culture like that or food like that, they've never had like authentic street food like that, they really had a good time. It was like a little playful thing for them to put things together and get the taste that they liked. It was like they were making their own Indian food for the first time, and they loved that experience, right? So you can also do that. So create a DIY station, some games. You can also give people a little bit of a rangoli. So you can have like, these days you have these MDF boards ready made with rangoli designs into it, and they have these pockets where you have to put your rangoli colors. Now you can do it with flower petals, you can do it with any kind of small little thing that can be laid out to create that rangoli. Doesn't really have to be colors, it could be anything that is non-color as well, so that people's hands don't get all messy. So you can have those things, and people can just walk in and do their little bit in the decoration. So by the end of the night, everybody has taken turns to do it, and now you have a nice rangoli where everybody has been a part of. So you can try out these many different ways, but then comes the question, what if I don't have anybody? Like, nobody responds, nobody calls, nobody's up for it, everybody's busy in the middle of the week or something. Well, do not forget to use this opportunity to bond with your neighbors. Create tiny little hampers, small little gift boxes where you put a little bit of nut-free sweets and some flowers and maybe a sandalwood candle that they can use later on. You make these small little hampers, at least knock 3 houses, like 3 to 4 houses on either side, like your neighbor in the front, in the corner, the 2 corners, the 2 sides, or directly in front of you. So the perimeter that you have, people surrounding you, if you open the windows and the door, the people you will kind of see, those are the people you need to walk up to and just hand over this basket of joy, little basket of joy. And let me tell you, everybody has been always appreciative. Whenever I've moved into a new apartment, I've done this to kind of break the ice with the neighbors. It's always worked. They've been very appreciative. They've asked a lot of questions, so be prepared to tell them, not in like a long winding, don't start up with a long winding ideology. It's got to be an elevator pitch. So make it like really short and quick. Festival of Lights happens on the no moon night when it's all dark, when the winter is kind of coming along. It's kind of a official start of the winter too, and then there are mythological stories backing it. That should be enough. You don't need to go into like deep details when somebody asks. They're not looking for that whole spiel, honestly. They're just trying to understand what it's about, and just try to make it like a 30-minute ad, not like a whole chapter book. So do that. And interestingly, something very interesting happened one time when I went to hand over these hampers to one of my neighbors. One of them asked, okay, tell me something, what is this all about? Like, I have seen Indians draw the German sign, the sign that I'm talking about, that sign on their doorsteps. What's that about? I had to break it down for them that it's swastika. It's actually a Sanskrit word. It was wrongfully used by historians to translate German word for hooked cross. They should have just left it as hooked cross, but they tried to be, I guess, over intellectualize it. They just did not care about, back then at least, they did not care about our culture, and they just thought they would just lift the word swastika and then just publish it in all history textbooks so that is the word that gets circulated. I think that was a really mean thing to do. So we have to undo a little bit of that damage and explain it to them. Also, very inadvertently and accidentally, we the NRIs become the spokesperson for all the dharmic religions back home in India. It's not so much the gurus who do it, it's just us. We answer the questions, we answer the hard questions and the fun questions and the funny questions, and we become the spokesperson. So while in India, I never really needed to know all of the things. I didn't need to know the meanings behind everything. I didn't need to know how different parts of India celebrate different things. I did not need to know so much. I just needed to exist, and things were taken care of. But here I actually need to know the meanings. I need to know the origin story. I need to know a whole lot of things to be able to explain it to other people. So you might want to brush up your knowledge a little bit before you throw that party, because people are going to ask you questions if they are not a part of the core community, the Hindu community. So I hope you have a really good time transferring knowledge, because after all, isn't Diwali all about knowledge over ignorance, light over darkness? So go ahead, be the preacher and do good in the world. Thank you so much for your time listening in. Hope you like this video. Subscribe to this channel, and I'll be making more videos on different topics about living abroad outside India and how we can make life more comfortable, more fun, more enjoyable, more connected, and more authentic.